Hello, it's Tracey again from Tru Yoga. How are you? Again, I'm honoured to have been invited by Carol to show you a few standing exercises. I like to use a chair with mine, keeping it handy with me. So as always, check the guidance from your medical professional before entertaining any form of exercise. And yeah, let's have fun. We're going to do a warrior sequence from yoga, and we'll work it nice and steady together. So when you're ready, perhaps having done the little warm-up, the little chair seated video I sent earlier, or bring yourself up to stand behind the chair. So I'm just going to wake up my spine to start with. I like my feet down onto the floor, my feet are hip width. And I'm going to take a couple of stretches up towards that sky. And then just bend my knees a little bit and just round and roll forward. 2 more of them. I'm going to take a nice big stretch up towards that sky. And then bend my knees a little bit and round as I roll forwards. And then 1 more. A big stretch up towards that sky. And then bend my knees as I round and roll forwards. I'm going to come back to center, and I'm going to wake up the sides of my spine. So again, feet just a little bit hard, the hip width, and I'm going to turn from side to side, from side to side. I can let those arms just move with me, side to side, to side, to side. And again, I don't have to go too far in case I get dizzy, but if you're having fun, go for it. Come back to center. Note, my feet are still nice and hip width, and I'm going to side bend. So I'm going to take one hand on my hip and reach the other arm across in front of my face. Come back to center, change sides. Side bend over to that second side, all the way back to center. 1 more each side, reaching across my body and coming back to center. 1 more, reaching across my body and coming back to center. And then I'm going to roll through my shoulders, wiggle through my arms, shake through my legs, take my glasses off, and I'm going to set myself up nice and steady. So I'm going to stand gently behind my chair. I like my fingertips on my chair so I know where I am. And I'm going to perhaps rise up on my toes, lifting up through my chest, and then let my heels come down to the floor. I'm going to lift up my heels, rising on my toes, and then gently drop down. I'm going to do 2 more like this. Lifting up on my toes and then drop my heels down. 1 more. Lifting up on my toes and drop my heels down. Variation for you. If that felt fine, stay there. Else as I lift up on my toes, I might lift up my arms and lower down. Look, mum, no hands. Lifting up and lower down. 1 more. Lifting up and lower down. I'm going to take a nice big inhale and reach my arms up towards that sky. And then I'm going to bend my knees round into my back as I roll and fold and roll and fold. Then I'm going to look forward, bringing my chest forward. So I create a little back bend. I'm going to take 1 leg to that back, keep that front knee nice and bent and lift those arms up. We call it warrior 1. I'm going to open out my body to the side, warrior 2, nice and broad on that chest. I'm going to lean back, a reverse warrior, taking my gaze up towards that sky. I'm going to come back, which we call warrior 2, or the side lunge, opening out. Then I'm going to turn back round to that front, facing my chair, warrior 1. I'm going to place my hands on that chair now and be brave. Lean forwards, either coming onto the toes of that back foot or lifting up that back leg. Warrior 3. Bring both feet to that front of that mat and we're going to sit down in what I call chair pose. So sitting down through that bottom, holding onto the chair or arms reaching forward. Push through our feet as we rise up towards that sky and then arms down by our side. How was that? Let's do the other leg. Reach all the way up towards that sky, nice long lift. And then that roll and fold all the way down. I'm going to bring my chest forward, a nice long flat back. And then I'm going to take my hands onto the chair, second leg back. Drop that heel down, hips facing that chair, and lift up, warrior one. I'm going to open out to that side. Side lunge, warrior two. I'm going to lean back, reaching that front arm up to the sky, reverse warrior. I'm going to come back to warrior two. I'm going to turn my hips back round to face my chair, warrior one. Then my hands onto that back of that chair, lean forward and lift up that back leg, warrior three. Bring that foot up to that front of that mat. Sit down into chair pose. Then push through those legs and rise up towards that sky. Arms down by our sides. Let's do it again. Okay, let's reach up towards that sky. Nice long lift, tummy muscles in. Roll and fold. Chest forward, flat back. One leg to that back. Turn that heel down. Keep a bend in the front knee. Warrior one, whether your arms are forward or arms up. Open your body to the side, warrior two. Find a place where you feel stable and you can balance. Lean back to reverse warrior. Back hand on that back thigh. Look at that top hand. Or if the balance is a challenge, keep the gaze down. Come back into the side lunge, warrior two. Turn round to face your chair, warrior one. Hands can be on that chair. Lean forwards, lift up that back leg. And if you're feeling comfortable, perhaps that opposite arm stretches forward. Your little balance. Both feet down to the ground. Sit down into chair pose. And then push through those feet, rise all the way up and up and up. Arms down by our side. Second side. Take a big reach up towards that sky. And then that roll and fold all the way down. Chest forward, flat back. Other leg to the back of that mat or back of that. Step down, reach up, arms up. Front knee got a little bend in it. Open that body out to the side, warrior two, like a lunge to the side. Lean back, back hand supporting on that thigh. Look at that front hand. And back in that same shape, warrior two. Turn that chest and that heart round to warrior one. Hands on that back of that chair. How about leaning forwards, lifting up that back leg? And if it feels comfortable, opposite hand forward. Both feet down to that front. And then let's sit down into chair pose. Rising all the way up towards that sky. Arms down by our sides. Can we feel that body waking up, moving? So we're going to do one little more version, but we're going to keep our legs straight this time. So we're just working those muscles a little bit harder. Starts the same. Take a big inhale, reach up towards that sky. Then that roll and fold all the way down. Notice I bend my knees. I bring my chest forward, flattening into my back. And then I step that first leg all the way back. Now this time I'm going to straighten into that front leg as I lift my arms up. I'm going to make sure I move my feet as I open out to that side. Both legs nice and straight. I'm going to lean back, perhaps a hand on the hip. Opening up, big diagonal star-like stretch. I'm going to come back up, legs still straight, arms out wide. And then I'm going to take my front hand down on that front thigh. We call it triangle. Lift that top arm up. Then I'm going to fold over that front leg. It's called pyramid. I'm going to take both hands onto my chair and then I'm going to move to lift up that back leg. I might feel comfortable, take the opposite arm forward, or I might feel a little bit brave, take both arms forward. Hands back to that chair, both feet step down, sit down into chair pose. Push through those feet, rise all the way up, and arms down by our side. How are we doing? One more side, straight leg. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale as we roll and fold. Our chest comes forward with a nice long flat back. Second leg steps back. Turn that heel down, straighten into that front leg and lift those arms up. I'm going to open out through my waist and my hips to that side, warrior two. I'm going to lean back into a reverse warrior. I'm going to come back into warrior two. I'm going to turn my chest, my heart right to that front, lifting up. And then I'm going to bring my hands down as I fold into a little pyramid. Then I'm going to take my hands onto that chair and I'm going to lift up that back leg. Should we have a go this side? Opposite arm or both arms. And if it feels too wibbly wobbly, hold onto the chair. Both feet down to that mat. Bend our knees, chair pose, arms forward. Then push through those feet, reach up towards that sky. And we bring our hands to prayer in front of our heart. Taking a side bend, open out those spaces that we've created. Come back to center. Take a side bend, other side, opening out those spaces. Come back to center. Hands to prayer. We seal our practice. Om Shanti. Namaste. I hope you enjoyed that little standing stretch. I hope it worked those legs for you. And thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully see you again soon. Thanks, guys. God bless.